Hello, everyone. It's Annette. This is In the Know 360, bringing you unfiltered stories, game, and exclusive drops from the next wave of stars. And now you're locked into In the Know 360, where real conversations meet raw talent. Let's go. Well, good evening and welcome everyone to In the Know 360, show hosted by me, Annette, the warm-hearted warrior diva. This show gives you insights on the journeys of high-achieving business owners and music artists who share with the audience the importance of building a strong community of like-minded individuals on the road to greater success. And this evening, I have the honor and pleasure of welcoming Miss Shantika Lynch. Thank you, ma'am, for joining me this evening.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you. Well, with further ado, I'm going to hand the mic over to you so
Okay.
you can let everyone know who you are and your beautiful salon. So
Okay.
I'll hand the mic to you.
Sure. So my name is Shantika Lynch. I am a mother, a business owner, and I had a business. I don't have it anymore. Unfortunately, we lost the business this past July. But I had a beauty supply and a salon called For the Culture Beauty Supply, and located in Los Angeles in the Ladera Center. So beautiful store, beautiful concept, just an amazing idea, But unfortunately, we had to let it go for a little while. Just recently, this situation that we're going to talk about tonight is partially the reason why that had to happen as well. So.
Well, thank you so much for the brief introduction, ma'am. And if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and start off with growing up in Watts and Nickerson Gardens.
Yes.
What key lessons shaped you uh, who you are today, rather?
Um, whew. So yeah, life and growing up in, I guess what some people might call a desolate area, because it's a community of its own, and within those walls. So you learn how to think fast, and you learn a lot of lessons at a very early age, a lot of hard lessons at a very early age. So um, those were a lot of my experiences growing up there. I lived there till I was about 16 years old. So born and raised in that community, and I moved away from there at 16. So I learned a lot of hard lessons over there: drugs, guns, gang banging, a lot of stuff over there. But while all those negative things were happening, I built a lot of lifelong friendships. It's not all bad. You know what I mean? The community is not all bad, but it does have those aspects to it that are, that, some people get caught up in, unfortunately, and, take them down a path that's not conducive for the future. But I always aspired to be a business owner and to be the boss. So, or a boss. So that's basically what drove me to open up my own business eventually and be the boss.
Wow. And so being a boss, and I know that you're a stylist, but can you elaborate on what you did at the salon
Yes.
and your partnership, if you don't mind?
Yes, absolutely. I forgot to mention that part, that I am a cosmetologist of 21 years now. So a licensed cosmetologist. So I not only did I work at my salon, but I was also the COO of the company, where I was responsible for the operations, the daily operations of the store, as well as the salon. So I had to manage the store, making sure that it's up to par with the cleanliness, that, you know, products are in place like they need to be. The store is just, immaculate. And then making sure the stylist had all the things that they needed to do their duties every day. So that was pretty much my job outside of doing my own working in my own chair, doing my own clients. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Mhm.
amazing. That's seems to be a challenge sometimes because you have to keep up with the products and the recalls and all these other things. I kind of know a little bit about recalls because I used to be in public health. So
Mm, mhm, mhm,
yeah, that
mhm.
was really interesting to say
Yeah.
the least. Well, thank you for joining everybody. We have Miss Eyes. We have a bunch of people here on Instagram land, and
Nice.
so let's go ahead and carry on. So you're
Okay.
the eldest, excuse me, of six, right? You carry like heavy responsibilities early on. How did that experience prepare you for the challenges that came later in life?
Oh, tremendously, because I'm actually the oldest girl in our family. I'm the second oldest child. I have a brother older than me, and then four children under me. So, because of our lifestyle and coming up in the Nicholson Gardens, unfortunately, my mother, she got involved with drugs. Even though she was able to maintain a job, sometimes two jobs to take care of us, she ultimately fell into drugs to the point where she lost everything, even including her children. So, but while she was indulging in the drug activity after work or whenever, free time she had, I was the parent to my siblings. And so it definitely prepared me early on for motherhood, and just having huge responsibilities, and not really having time to complain and, you know what I mean, try to pass it to somebody else. It's like, this is in front of me right now, so this is what I'm needed to do and what I'm going to do. So yeah, it definitely prepared me for the world, to know, to take it as it come and keep pushing, because I'm not stopping.
Wow.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, God bless you and having to rear motherhood at a early age or
Mhm,
parenthood or
mhm, mhm.
wow, that's tough. So what helped you like maintain right your strength and focus during some of your most difficult seasons in life?
I think that God just created me like that to be able to, some people can deal with a lot of stuff. They can weigh a lot of stuff on their shoulders. And I think God really just built me that way, to be honest. Like, I don't attribute it to me at all. I just think that He wired me that way. And so I've been through a lot of things that, I hear people say, like, I don't know how you were able to, go through and look unscathed. You know what I mean? But it's to me, it's all the grace of God. It's all attributed to Him, because He created me. So obviously He created me to be able to deal with everything that I've dealt with in my life. You know what I mean? Even the things that I've caused on my own. You know what I mean? He still equipped me to be able to deal with it. So definitely attributed to Him, not me.
Mm, yes.
Yeah.
God's always there, and I truly believe I'm spiritual too, so I truly believe in a lot of things that are unseen and unheard. Later in life, maybe the reason will come upon
Hmm.
you like a
Hmm.
download. I always get these downloads like, oh, okay, that's why
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
didn't get that job, or that's why
Yes.
it's
Provision and protection. We don't know, what God is doing, but close this door. I'm sorry if it's loud. I forgot to close my doors. I live right by a main street. So anyways, but yeah, provision and protection. Like, we don't understand all the time, but I like to call Him the great setter upper.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow, so true. Ain't that the
Mhm.
truth? Um, so when you going back to the salon, right, and
Mhm.
your hospitality career, When did you realize your passion for hair and beauty, uh,
Mm.
and how it could come become more than just a job and more like a business and legacy?
So, I mean, I've always loved beautiful hair,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't know when I was young. A lot of people know when they're young that they want to be a hairstylist. I didn't know that I wanted to be a cosmetologist. That was never words in my mouth or thoughts in my mind. Like I didn't know. But I was working as an administrative assistant at the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and I was laid off. And so I was having a hard time finding a job. And I used to do my own hair, and it was just if I didn't have money to get my hair done, I would do it myself. So people started asking me about who did my hair, and so I would say I did, and so they started asking for appointments. So I started taking appointments because I didn't have any money. But when I started taking appointments at my house, I just noticed that the hair needed something and I didn't know what it needed. So then I understood that I needed to go to cosmetology school because I really fell in love with the hair then. Experiencing doing other people's hair. So and I wanted to make it beautiful. So that's all I knew. And I knew, okay, I have to go to school for this. So I went to school and got licensed, and all she wrote.
Wow, that's amazing. Every time I think of the hair salon, I think of Grease. That movie. I don't know
Oh yeah,
why, but it just comes to my head for some
yeah.
reason. Like my first growing up, watching movies, and I'm like, I just thought about Grease because she always wanted to be this beauty star.
Yep, yep, yep. That's one of my favorites. Classic. Yep.
For sure, I love it.
Yeah.
Um, what was the like some of the biggest hurdles, right, you faced in like launching the salon and beauty
Oh.
supply business?
Oh man. So this last store that we had, it was the second location that we opened, and that was the most difficult, with the most hurdles and ups and downs and turns and all the things because we had to do a build out this time. We had a space that was not comparable to a salon, so we had to put plumbing in there. We built out suites because we wanted to have like private suites in there, so we had to have construction done. And so it was right off the back of COVID. And so everything was still like delayed and timing was off. So it really did a doozy on us with that. So we had a hard time getting the project done in a timely manner. So that cut into more money. That cut into in every way because they only when you do commercial property, you can negotiate for a period of time where you don't pay rent until you actually move in there. And so you move in, and then maybe like 4 months later, you can start paying rent. But we had eaten into all that time. So now we're being charged rent for a place that we're not even occupying. So all of that, like, starts to pile up. So that was some of the one of the hurdles, and just finding vendors and people to get the work done for us, contractors and general contractor. Like we had I don't know if to call him incompetent, but it seems like he was incompetent because he underbid the contract or underbid the job initially, and so that put us in a bind with the lending, the funding that we got a loan for, because it just set us back. So it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot going on, but we eventually got it open. The store was beautiful. Um, you can see pictures of it online. We still have our pages up, I believe, for the Culture Beauty Supply on Instagram, Facebook. So yeah, but
Wow. So, I guess for commercial real estate, right? I'm trying to think. You're able to create that space or like construct it to your fitting.
yeah, if they allow you
Wow.
to, yeah, if the owners allow you to, yeah, yep, you
Wow.
definitely can, yep. Hmm.
But then you have to pay the even though the construction's going on, or like how, like you said,
Yeah,
really?
like
Oh my
if your
god!
time runs out, you definitely will start to accumulate rent payments.
Wow.
So we didn't think so. It went over a year. It was a year overdue. So we had planned for it to be done within a year, and even that seemed like really long time. But so it was 2 years that we
Wow.
were like, because in negotiating the lease agreement, all of those things like took time. You know what I mean? And then yeah, we planned for it to be done in a year, but it actually took 2 years. So
Oh my gosh. That's
mm,
wow. I'm surprised that well, I mean, I guess in talking to real estate investors or any of that sort, that they would tell you that like I mean, there's no magic ball to say, hey, this is gonna be X number of time that's
mhm,
gonna take,
yeah.
but to give you a just wow. But that's a good like learning experience,
Oh yeah. But if you
you
got
know.
money, if you got some
Yeah,
money to get it done, you ain't got nothing to
that's
worry
true.
about.
That's true.
Money moves things, but when you're
Right?
working with a budget and you're like, hey, I cannot go out of this budget, then it's harder. It's harder. But when you got some money to get stuff done,
That's
it
true.
can it can get done. You can move some mountains with that money.
Facts. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Um, so what does it mean to you, right, to build something of your own,
Um,
especially coming from where you started?
mhm. It was it was a great pride to be able, and not in a prideful negative way. And it's another word I want to say, but it's a great deal of pride that happens when you can look at when you put your time, your money, your effort, your sleepless nights, and like work from your own hands, like, and then you walk into this place and you built this place, but it doesn't even stop there. So you really, I don't even really know how to answer it, but it's because you build it right, and then you go and you're working in that space now, but now it's the point of it has now you have to see it flourish, you know what I mean? So we didn't really get to that point to where it really took off like we wanted it to. It was kind of killed in the middle of its flight. But it's a great joy, I would say, to be able to build your own business and work in it and work at it, and do all the things that you need to do to try to keep it and help it to grow. So it's a beautiful thing. Like I don't know that I would ever try go back into the workforce and work for somebody else. I don't think I could do it.
I'm with you. I'm definitely with you on that.
Yeah.
Well, God works in mysterious ways. You know, we just never know what He has in store. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
with that being said, life often brings unexpected turns, right?
Hmm.
Can you share how some of your personal experiences, including past relationships, have shaped your journey?
Oh yeah. I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned is, and my friend told me this. I'll start with this because my friend told me, she said, you're guilty of uh, trusting people. And see, no, she said, you're guilty of seeing the good in people. And I'm just like that. Like, if whatever you show me is all I know, until you show me something different. So past experiences and relationships, I think not vetting people long enough to see who they really are before you go that extra step with them, you know what I mean? And being intimate and letting them too much into your own space, and giving too much of your time to a person that may be not worthy of it. those are some of the hard lessons that I've had to learn, and I've had to learn them a few times, to be honest, because I'm I don't think that I'm perfect. No one is perfect, but I am. What you show me is what I see and what I take away. You know what I mean? So I don't. I don't know, but I'm just like that. But and in the same way, once you show me who you are, I do the proper things to put it in the proper perspective, to put you in the categories that I need to put you in. So are you friend, foe, or whatever it is? But yeah, that has shaped the way I've learned. It's one of the biggest lessons of my life right now, considering the main reason why we're on your show today, considering, the situation that I'm currently in. I've learned like a huge lesson to, get to really, really get to know somebody before you allow them into your life, so close and intimate, because, yeah. Yeah.
If I was there, I would give you a hug.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
so, you know, the main point that you said, and I resonate with you, because you want to see the good in people, and that's how I am too. You want to see, you give your heart, and you just open up your doors, to your home and to your world, right? And it's, yeah, being a glass half full person, looking at
Mhm.
it from that
Mhm. Mhm.
perspective.
Mhm.
You want to believe, right? You want to believe that people have good hearts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like every time you do that, it's like, because
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
can definitely
Mhm.
resonate with all these
Mhm. Mhm.
collaborations I've
Mhm.
done, and
Mhm.
it's like, wow, I guess I don't know the word on my forehead or something, like, hey, come on over here,
Mhm. Yeah, right, right. It's like a magnet. It's like, why do I keep, so that's what I had to, that's what I discovered, that I had to understand that, well, I believe that it's spiritual in a way, because it's like, it's a different person, but it's the same mentality. It's the same, almost everything, you know what I mean? But it's a different face, a different body, a different whatever, but it's the same everything. So why, like, what is it in me attracting this same person? And I've come to understand that this thing really want to take me out. That's what I think. This thing want to take me out, but I'm like, absolutely not. You're not going to take me out. Not at all. So yeah.
right. And my my perspective is, and I'm like, I question that all the time growing up too,
Mm,
Shantika. And I'm like, I think it's your light, right?
mm,
So
mm-hmm.
you have this bright light that attracts everyone,
Yeah. Yes.
good,
Yes.
bad, and
Yep.
different.
Yes.
And um with that being said, it's like a healing, right? It's
Yes.
like a healing light that people need and want to
Yes.
gravitate to.
Yes. Yes.
And some more than others. I've
Yes.
noticed that, because they
So true.
literally drain your
Yes.
energy,
Yes. Yeah.
where you need to take a
Yeah.
nap. Like
Yes.
literally, I had to take a nap today
Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
before coming on the show, because it's like, it's just so challenging, but then you know that it's a gift. It's a gift and a curse at the same time.
That's it. Yep.
But it's to teach people, right?
Mhm.
So this is my perspective of what I've been understanding about this whole journey in life. For me, I think it's to help or teach someone that needs that coaching, or that missing piece to the puzzle of their
Mhm.
life to heal.
Yes.
And you're
Absolutely.
just a passerby. You're just like
Yeah.
I go into the grocery store. You know how you go to the
Yes.
grocery store. Hey, how
Yeah.
you doing? Oh,
Yeah.
we're buying
Yeah.
this bread, loaf of bread, whatever.
Hmm.
Just having a
Hmm.
small talk,
Yes.
but you're actually healing that
Hmm.
person
Yeah. Yep.
just by that small, short conversation.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And that's how I feel. It is. I feel like, oh well, I guess I'm chopped liver, but you know what I mean. But I guess it's a mission that we carry, right?
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. And you're built for it. So that's what I was saying earlier. Like, it's just how God built us, you know what I mean? To use us in that way. And especially when you tell them, hey, I'm your vessel, use me how you will. We don't get to say how it happens. You know what I mean? But I think my one of my lessons was I guess with female male relationships, knowing, how far to go with a person. Like if there's an attraction, there may be an attraction, but is this really the person that should be involved with? And just knowing like if this, or is this some person that came across my path for healing? And I think that that has been the case with some of the relationships that I've chose to be intimate with. They should have never been an intimate relationship. It should have been like some coaching or healing type of relationship versus intimacy. So definitely got my scout's eyes out for that now.
Mm. Yeah, it's that discernment of learning to just listen to what God is saying, right? Like
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
spirit is saying. And
absolutely.
I mean, I confess, like I'm stubborn. Like
Hmm.
nobody's perfect. So sometimes it's like, no, no, but I want, it to go this way.
Yeah,
And when you start to try to control that will, it's like, oh, nope, nope. Okay, you
yeah.
want to go? Okay, go ahead. Go to the
Mhm.
speed bump. But we're going to
Right,
get back on the, get you back on that road.
right, right. And
Oh my
God's like,
goodness.
my little babies. He's looking down at us like my poor little babies. They just, all right, they'll be back. She'll be back.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So, okay, well, moving on, right? And
yeah.
briefly, well, what you talked about earlier in regards to the relationship. So your name has been in the spotlight after this recent tragic incident
Hmm.
involving a person that you briefly dated
Hmm.
came into your salon.
Hmm.
Can you kind of give us a brief overview and kind of
Hmm.
how you've been processing everything since this incident happened?
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there was in 2022 of August of 2022, I met a man. His name is Jeremy Peterson. I dated him for a few months, and I started to realize that something was not right with him. I couldn't really put a finger on it, but I knew that he was different from the person that I had met. And by November of 22, I broke off the relationship. We didn't have any real commitment to each other, just dating, hanging out, having summer fun. But like I said earlier, I let him too far into my world and too fast. And I guess it was too much for him as well. And not knowing him and knowing anything about his prior life, it was just a lot for both of us. So he really didn't want to adhere to my wishes as to not to deal with him anymore. So he became a stalker. And so he started stalking me and harassing me. But prior to him going, full fledged stalker and harassment, he asked me if we could be friends. And so, I'm friends with men that I've dated before. Like we hang out. I can go to a cigar bar with them or go to have dinner or whatever. And it's just friends. You know what I mean? So I thought that I could probably have that with him as well since he was asking. But found out that he really, he had other things in mind. He really wanted to be still in relationship how it was before, but I had no desire for that. And so once I realized he still wanted to have a relationship, I like completely stopped talking to him and ended, all contact with him. But he became a stalker, and he was harassing me. He would come to my job, he would come to my house, and anywhere out he would see me. He jumped out of a car one time. He was in an Uber, and he jumped out of the Uber because he saw me. So it was a lot of craziness happening with him in that aspect. And last year, it's been 1 year now since this past Saturday, October 18th, 2024, he decided to come into my store. I was actively working on a client, and I didn't even see him come in. I didn't hear the door open. It was as if he just appeared. And the next thing I know, this man is in the middle of my store before I even knew it, and frightened me to no avail. It frightened me because I didn't know what he was there for and why he was there, because I had made it known through several attempts to get restraining orders, police reports, you know, men. I had 8 different men to contact him for me to ask him to leave me alone. I didn't want to see him in jail or anything because, I didn't know that it needed to go that far. I just thought, like, he's having a hard time, you know, but it wasn't that serious in my mind for you to be having this hard time. But I later found out that he was a serial stalker, and a person who would harass multiple women, who was harassing multiple women at the time. It was not just me, it was multiple women at the same time. And, I learned this information from his girlfriend because he had started to stalk her and harass her. So she decided to reach out to me, and she said that she was reaching out to all of the women that he was stalking and harassing at the time. So I was one of those women, and she wanted us to know that if anything happened to her, that he did it. So that was, a high alert for me because I didn't know that he was stalking multiple women. I thought it was just me. And so that was in 23. That was in October of 2023 when she alerted me to that. And so just discovering these things about him that I didn't know. He did serve some time in jail. So he told me that it was because he was drinking alcohol, and he ended up killing a guy with his car because of alcohol. But I later on found out that it was more than just alcohol. It was 5 different substances: PCP, alcohol, cocaine, weed, meth, and the entire reason why he was running from the police and ended up smashing into this man's car and killing him is because he was initially stalking and harassing 2 women that he did not know. And he tried to put one of those, he blocked them in with his car, and he tried to put one of those women in his car. So attempted kidnapping. So it's all of this information I'm telling you is available to the public. If you look up Jeremy Peterson versus the people versus Jeremy Peterson, you'll find this case in 2006, and everything I'm saying you is verifiable. So just finding out all these things after I stopped dealing with him, I came to understand that the day that I met him, he stalked me that same day. And I didn't realize it until after I came home from jail. I'm giving you a lot of information, but I realized that after I came home from jail that he actually stalked me the day that I met him. And it just dawned on me when I came home from jail, because I thought about the day that I met him. And I just remember that I left the location that I was at and I went to another location not too far from there. And as I parked my car, I looked up and I saw him drive by. And then he turned around and drove back by the other way, but he never looked in my direction. But I recall talking to him days later, and I told him, I said, "Hey, I saw you. I saw you after I gave you my phone number." And he said, "Oh yeah, I saw you too." But it didn't dawn on me then that, that he did not look at me. So when remembering that incident that day, I knew that he did not look at me that day. So I was like, how did you see me when you never looked at me on the street that I was parked on? I saw you, but I never saw you see me, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he saw me, but I came to understand that he saw me because he was following me.
Was this after you met him or before? Like you went to.
The day that I met him, the very day that I met him, he followed me. And I didn't realize
Oh,
that he was following me. I just thought that he lived in this neighborhood. So I just
okay.
thought he was in the neighborhood. But I saw him drive by and then he immediately turned around and went back the other way. So it was weird. It was just a weird thing. You know how you get that discernment, but you don't pay attention to it. So it was a pin that was placed there, but I didn't adhere to it. So,
Hmm.
they say you get flags, you get red flags, but we ignore them.
Hmm.
We ignore
Hmm.
them. So that's definitely what I did. I ignored that red flag because
Oh wow.
it definitely was a red flag, because to come to find out that he had a lifestyle of stalking women. And even the girlfriend that I mentioned earlier, come to find out that he was stalking and harassing her own sister prior to him getting in this situation with the DUI and the vehicular manslaughter.
Oh
He was
wow.
stalking and harassing her sister for a number of years while he was this girl's boyfriend. So it's beyond me. It's been beyond me as far as his character is concerned. I just didn't take the time to get to know him before I opened myself up to him the way that I did. So
Oh wow. So you
mm,
were at the jail for I was
well,
thinking getting restraining order or something
no,
or like.
no. So I'll just go into what happened the day of the incident that happened between him and I that landed me in jail.
Okay.
So that's what I was speaking of when I said came home from jail. Um, so on October 18th, 2024, he came into my store. I immediately asked him to leave twice, and he wasn't having it. He said some words back to me. So my immediate thought was to grab one of the security guards, who we had several security guards in the plaza. So they had all had a picture of him. I had given the main security officer a picture of him to let them know that I had a stalker and that it was serious, and that to keep this person away from me and from my store. So my immediate thought was to grab one of them, but I didn't see any one of them when I went outside to look for them. And my next thought was to call them. So as I went back into my store, he reached out and he sexually assaulted me. And I had a reaction to swing on him. And he walked away from me, cussing me out, threatening me that he was going to be back. But then I got a phone call maybe 10 minutes later saying that he was passed out behind my store. And so I verified that it was him. I didn't think it was him initially because of the guy was bald. And the last time I saw him, he had a head full of hair. So when he came into my store, he had on a hat. So I didn't really know that was him because I saw a bald guy. And the last time I really saw him in person, he had lots of hair. So, anyways, come to find out, it was him, and he was down on the ground behind the store, and he eventually passed away that day. And so, fast forwarding to a month later, November 14th, um, I was arrested for his death and charged with murder. So, but I can't really go into the details of the case because I'm currently on house arrest, $1 million bail. The bail went from $1 million to 2.25 million on the day of my arraignment, and then it went back down to I had a bail hearing, and it went back down to 1 million. So I was fortunate enough to know people who had a little money to loan to me, and two people who put up their house for me to be able to come home. So I was blessed to be able to come home on December 24th of 24. And so I spent 40 days in jail for this, and so I'm still currently fighting this allegation. The facts are going to show that I did not cause his death, even though there was a interaction between us, but that interaction did not cause his death. There are facts or things that are pertinent to the case that will show that there were other things that may have involved him losing his life that day. So I contend that he was not murdered, that he basically died, and I just believe God allowed him to leave the earth that day. I never wished anything bad on him. I don't hate him. I don't hate anybody. I don't have any enemies. I like to tell people, if you don't like me, if you consider me an enemy, then that's really your problem. I don't even know how, not that I'm perfect, but I don't have enemies. So, and even though he was how he was to me, I didn't even consider him an enemy. I would always tell him, I wish that I could help you, but I cannot. Like, you need professional help. I tried to be your friend, it didn't work. So you got to go get some help elsewhere. It's not going to happen with me. So unfortunately, I'm here. I'm in this situation where I'm literally fighting for my life. I'm being accused of murder, and it's really an overcharge. It's really because I didn't intend to do anything but work that day, work my business and work my chair, and and handle my clients. That's what I intended to do that day. I didn't intend him coming to my store. I didn't intend him touching me and me having a reaction. I didn't intend on any of that. So it really is an overcharge. It's a oversight to even details that were given to detectives. Like, so it's really unfortunate. But God, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So going back to how God built you, and even when you make mistakes and, do things that, put you in situations, I believe he has an ultimate plan for my life, and that in the end, his will prevail, you know. So I'm just I'm a tough cookie, and unfortunately, sometimes being a tough cookie is frowned upon. The damsel in distress sometimes is what people are looking for, but I've been through so much in my life. I have not had time to be a damsel in distress. I got to keep it pushing, and I'm just keeping it real. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like get, you know what I mean? It's not that I'm
Yeah.
looking for sympathy or anything like that. It just is what it is. It just is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I hear you. Look, I can totally relate.
Yeah.
It's like a moving, like you have moving cogwheels, and you're juggling so many things, and you just don't have time to, sit back and
Yeah.
or else everything is just gonna fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's life, and
Hmm. Right.
it's just
Right.
being
And I didn't
faithful.
mention that I mentioned that I'm a mother, but I have four sons and a daughter. I've raised model citizens in the world. Like my children are successful. Like we are not. They've never been in trouble. Like my boys, I have four sons. They've never been in trouble. They don't. They've never been in trouble with the law. They're perfect. I'll say perfect gentlemen because I'm biased because they're my sons, but they're beautiful children. You know what I mean? They're contributors to the society. They're service people. Like they serve. They, So again, like nobody's perfect. We all have our faults and shortcomings, but your character, you know what I mean, and how you're raised is sometimes everything. And then me, like I had it kind of tough. My father died when I was 4, so my mother was alone raising us, and
Mm.
she was doing the best that she could, to raise her 6 children and provide for them by herself. You know what I mean? But she did what she had to do. Like
Yeah.
sometimes she would work 2 jobs, you know what I mean? And so it just is what it is. You live, you learn, and you keep moving.
Right. And it's part of life. I mean, it, it's really interesting how we say, "Oh, once I do this, once I get this much money, or once I get," no, it's it's ebb and flow. It's a continuous
Hmm.
thing.
Yep.
It's there's no end until we're gone,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's enjoying the moments for sure.
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely.
Thanks, Mastio. Free Mastio. He says prayers go out to you. This is an amazing story about triumph over tragedy. Keep fighting. The law is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Let God work, and this will be over soon. Amen.
Oh, thank you. Amen. But you know what? Going through this judicial system, I will tell you, if when you're accused of something as serious as murder, oh my God, I'm about to tear up now because I've never been in a situation like this. I'm not a criminal at all. I don't do go to jail stuff. So, but going through an accusation and a charge as serious as murder, you are not presumed innocent until guilty. You are treated as guilty until you can prove that you are not, in my experience. I am on house arrest. I cannot even go to the doctor. They won't even let me go to the doctor unless if I have like a doctor's appointment. The district attorney in this case, she opposes me to even go to the doctor. So I know that it's bigger than me. It's so spiritual, and I'm so glad that I know that it's not about me, that this is a spiritual battle that I'm fighting. And it's just I'm just blessed to know God and to know that He is working in this situation. I've seen it from the beginning of it, that this is God doing this, because I'm gonna say this. Jeremy Peterson died on top of the word stop. He was harassing, like, how you have the stop signs in the street where they have when you have to come to a stop and there's a line and there's the word stop. His body was right there. And so I believe from the beginning of this that this is what God did. I didn't do this. And according to the coroner's report and what the video evidence shows, it's impossible that I did what they said happened to him. So I'll just say that. But I just wanted to say that, the judicial system is no joke. I don't wish anyone to have to be involved with it at any time in your life, because this is something else, and you have to be mentally strong. And if you do not have a relationship with God, I pray that you would quickly find one if you ever find yourself in a situation, you know. And it's just so crazy how you can, your life can change in a matter of 22 seconds, because that's what happened to me. 22 seconds, my life changed.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Um, when you were there for 40 days, can you tell the audience like your experience and just your journey?
Yeah. It was scary for sure to have to know that you're going to jail, and some place that you've never been before. You know, I don't know anything about this lifestyle. So to have to enter into something like that, nobody cares that you are presumed innocent. You are treated as guilty. You know, there's a lot of people with mental things going on, drug habits, people asking you, do you have drugs? And you have handcuffs on. So it's like, huh? Do I have what? I don't do drugs. Like, what are you talking about? But it's so it was truly an experience, um, and I think that God allowed me to go to jail for a purpose as well, because when I was there, there was a day that I wanted to cry, and God was like, "No, look around." And He's like, this is my what it was the word this is my, what is it called? Oh my God, I'm having a brain fog right now. When he says that this is oh my gosh, oh my God, it'll come back to me in a second. But basically, he was like, you know, um, look around, you know, like this is the harvest. I'm sorry, there it is. This is my harvest, but the workers are few. And I had a conversation with him in my mind, and I said, I'll do the work. You know, I'll do the work for you, but I cannot do it in here because you cannot do anything in jail. If you have to handle business, if you need to make phone calls, it's hard to get on the phone, because people are babysitting the phone, not even handling business, just hugging the phone, talking about nothing. So, and they don't care that they've been on the phone for 45 minutes, but they say, you know, you have a time period with the phone. They don't care. So they're hogging the phone, but you want to handle business, you got to make important phone calls. It's, you know, you get in where you fit in. And so it was difficult, but God, you know, He told me this is my harvest. Said, look around, this is my harvest. And the harvest is plenty, but the workers are few. And I told him, I will do the work, but I have to do it on the other side. You
Mm.
can't get anything done in jail. Like you can get some things done in jail as a vessel for God, you know, and He did use me in that way to give messages to some of the women in there. And so I really had to tap into my authority while I was there, and really just, you know, tap into Him and keep connected, make sure I was like really super connected to Him even more, in there. You know, I've always had a strong relationship with God and always, you know, seeking to be His daughter and do His will, you know. But in there, it was a little bit more intense. It's way more spiritual in jail, than it is, to me on the streets, because it's a confined area, and it's a lot of evil going on in there.
Mm.
So yeah, it was truly an experience, um, scary, but so toward the last week, I was really feeling it almost like childbirth. Like I got to get out of here. Like I need this baby out of my belly. I need to get
Mm.
out of here. So I was definitely feeling that like towards the end of me leaving there, and God did it. He got me out of there, and you know, He gave me some ideas of what to do to help His harvest. And so I have an idea of another business that I want to start, a nonprofit that is going to be, multiple programs for women coming out of prison, jail, or just the average woman on the street who need, or the in the world or in the community who may need a helping hand. And I want to have a program that is functional for everybody and will meet everyone where they are. There's a lot of programs, but I feel like there's not programs where they actually meet a person where they are. It's like, this is what we do. You have to start here, but it's like everybody's different. You know what I mean? Everybody's starting point is something different. So I want to cater to what people actually need. You know what I mean? And help them from that point. You know what I mean? So that's my heart's desire right now. It still will involve the beauty side of it, because part of that program will have um, salon services for free to people who are part of the program. So, you can look good to start your life over. You know what I mean? You're pursuing a new life. You need a job, so you got to look good. You know how to look, presentable, so you can come here and get your hair done. And then once you're ready to fly on your own, then hey, then the dynamics will change a little bit. If you still want to get your hair done here, you may pay a small fee or something. I don't know, but that's definitely what my next plans are moving forward. And even going back to the jail that I was in, I heard that there was a salon there. So I'm ready to get out of here, because that's one of the first things that I'm going to do is go there to see how I can serve the women in the salon at the jail. Get do their hair before they go to court or whatever. So those are the things that I'm thinking about. I'm not even thinking about my situation. I mean, I was telling somebody, I don't really even know how to help myself right now. It's when it's you that need the help. I'll speak for myself. I need help, right? Because I can't go to work, but I don't really even know how to help myself. So but I'm really excited about how other people are viewing me right now and watching me go through what I'm going through, because I've been blessed to hear some of their testimonies, even in the midst of watching me go through what I'm going through. And so that has been the blessing to me, to see that people are watching me and they see how I'm going through this situation, as serious as it is. And they are being blessed even now. You know what I mean? And it's not even over. It's like in the getting to the peak of it. So that's really how I'm handling everything right now. I currently have a court date coming up on October 28th, and it'll be a date to just set the preliminary hearing. And so at the preliminary hearing, that's when all of the evidence comes out, and the judge gets to decide whether or not this case should go to trial or not. So, I'm just praying that the judge will see it for what it is, and judge righteously.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, VSL, STF. Thank you. Everybody is chiming in and supporting you, Queen.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you, everybody.
Monsayo,
Yeah.
he says there's ways to work from home. There's an app called Okay. So there's different like services that he's talking about here. But it's one of those things, because when you, and this goes, I think, to in life, right? Just life in general, because we're out here, we're grinding, we're trying to put food on the table for my, the kids. Like, I have 3 kids, so it's like, okay, well, we have these bills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, trust me, the whole entrepreneur, like, I feel you on this thing. I mean, because like it's mind blowing, because you're so used to having a safety net
Mm-hmm.
that every 2 weeks or every month. It used to be every month for me.
Mm-hmm.
You get a certain amount of money, and your budget and all this
Mm-hmm.
good stuff. Now it's like, oh my gosh, like the
Right.
safety net is not
Right.
there.
God.
And it's like, if you keep thinking about it, right, your situation is just gonna get worse. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what can you do? All you can do is just pray, have faith, that God will see everything through,
Mhm. Mhm.
good, bad, and different. Again, it's one of those things where um you're working out, right? You just started working out again, and you're building that bicep, right? But you got to get in that gym every day
Yeah.
and build that bicep up. and
Yeah.
and that's just the way I feel. It's that grit. It's that what God pulls you through
Yeah.
to say, hey, you have to hit the gym. You have to keep, doing it. and
Yeah.
and and so you start to say, well, there's things that you can control and there's things that I can't control,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then that's where the whole faith, that's the recipe.
Yeah.
That's the recipe of for me, through this whole entrepreneurship thing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I guess this week we'll have to have noodles, or we'll have to have whatever this and
Make it happen.
you
Yeah.
can have Chipotle.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Right.
kids.
Right.
Uh, and that's the way I look at life, because at the end of the day, it's like we don't control our life.
Mhm.
You know, it's we do our best, but there's things in life that, like, again, it's unseen,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you're going through this abyss, and you're not knowing, okay, what's gonna happen, you know
Yeah.
and then you hit like these pivotal moments in your life where you're like, okay, well, God put it here, so I have to, you know go through these things. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's frustrating, it's
Mhm.
challenging. I can't even fathom what you're going through, Shantika, but my prayers and my heart and my love is with you right now. It's just
Mhm.
like, I don't want to get teary eyed here, because
Yeah.
having the kids and
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you're going through so much. But with that being said, I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you sit there and you just like keep thinking about it, it's gonna
Mhm.
not help.
Yeah.
It's not gonna benefit. And so that's, I was trying to interject with the whole entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
Like, you keep thinking about these things here, these societal things,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, it's not gonna help, right?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. Yeah.
just give it to God, and everything. I know everything is
Yeah.
gonna work out for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been able to maintain some of my clientele, some people that have been with me for a number of years. They still come and patronize me at my home, but I lost, I'll say, 85% of my clients because I have to be at home. You know what I mean? But so I've explored trying to go to school, but even the district attorney blocked that because I have to leave the house to go to orientation. So I would love to maybe do some remote work some kind of way, but I've been working in a salon. I have not applied for a job in 21 years. So like even trying to enter into the workforce again with uh 21 years of no experience in the workforce. I don't even know what that's like, but I'm not shooting it down. I've definitely been looking into that as well, but I thought I'd take some classes while I'm, going through this, but I can't even leave the house to even check into school currently. So, no, I will figure it out. My
Yeah.
lawyer will, he's gonna have to push a little harder with the judge to allow me to even to at least do that. Take
Hmm.
some classes at least. It's not gonna hurt anybody for me to take classes online because I'll be doing it from home. It's not like I'm asking to go to the school. You can take classes online,
Yeah.
but yeah.
There's some free and I'll send it to you, but Coursera, I don't know if you've heard of it, but they have like MIT, they have like
Mm,
Ivy League schools that they have, coursework that folks can just join for free and just
Ah,
take, and it's
oh, you know what I
professors
did see?
teaching specific courses or whatever it is. And I'm like, wow, MIT, Ivy League schools, so why not, right? But
Right.
I'll send you the information. Yeah,
Okay.
Masayo said, indeed, yeah, there's an app for, it's finding jobs or what
Mhm.
have you,
Mhm.
remote work. But yeah, there's so many like remote stuff these
Mhm.
days that you could do. And but yeah, Coursera, again, I'm not I'm not being sponsored or whatever, but I I do know of that. And there's multiple things, but with that being said, uh wow, that's
Yeah,
a lot to that you've just we've digested
I
tonight.
know. It is. It's a
Um
lot. It really is. It really is. It's tough, but gotta keep pushing.
so speaking about the salon, right, and how you want to do that for the jail and for women transitioning out, how, like, I guess what's next, right, for you, and how are you going to use your platform to build um, something that's long lasting for your family and the community? And that nudge that you had, was it like after you came home or during your time?
It was so the business that I was speaking of earlier, the next business that I want to start, the nonprofit. It was actually a long time coming. Like I've had this idea of this particular nonprofit for a very long time, of a place where you can get all things beauty done. Hair, nails, works, even preparing people for work with coming there to pick out an outfit for work. And so it's expanded to different types of programs that women may need, child, like even parenting classes. It's so broad, like it's such a big idea for me because like I said, it's going to be whatever people need, like literally meeting them where they are. So much as if it's a person who was on drugs coming out of jail, if you need to totally be free from drugs, like you'll go through a program that we have for that. Like, but it's going to have to start within the person first. They're going to have to really want it, because this is going to be a no nonsense program as well. You're not going to be able to come and play at this place. So, yeah, definitely, that is the next step for me. Just building this conglomerate of this idea that I have. Like, it's really, really big, bigger than I can even imagine right now. But I believe that God can do it if He wanted. He said that He gives us the desires of our hearts. So,
Yeah,
I truly desire to help women and men. It's not just for women, because there are a lot of men who just need a little help. You know what I mean?
yeah.
People just need a little help where they are. And it's not to hold your hand forever, but it's to definitely help you get to where you want to go. You know what I mean? There was a time
Mhm.
where I needed help, a little help. You know what I mean? Even right now, I need a little help, but I'm really not as my situation is serious, but my mind is really set on helping other people. And I've kind
Yeah.
of been like that my entire life. So that's really the next step. I think that I know that it's going to be a family legacy as well left behind, because all of my children have servant hearts. They are all in servant positions with what they do, and ultimately my family has been helping me to stay abreast
Mhm.
while I'm going through financially, and but I still have a lot of legal fees and money that I owe to people, you know what I mean? But you know, He has provided, and I have not
Yes.
missed a beat since
Yes.
I've been going through this, and it's been a year now.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
blessed me, and so people still donate to me sometimes. So it's just been a blessing. You know what I mean? I'm not rolling in dough, but I've had my needs met, And that's what's important.
Well, you know what it sounds like, Shantika? It sounds like you're for I don't know. This just came to me. It sounds like you're gonna open up a school for a beauty salon or a barber. You know how like they
Yeah.
have the Paul Mitchell, and where they can people that want to volunteer their time or even learn the trade
Mm-hmm.
to come and join forces with you
Mm-hmm.
and to help with the community because this
Mm-hmm.
this is what it's all about. It's
Yeah.
helping each other out
Yeah.
and service. And
Yeah.
so I'm so proud of you. You know that
Thank you.
that really makes me like makes me so happy to hear that service, you know, is provided, especially with this tragedy, this tragic event that happened, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you turn things because it's what you're going through, right? Even though what you're going through doesn't, it looks blurry, there's always light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Yeah.
There's always this vision greater than what we even can't even imagine.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
God is just working miracles. You know, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it, it's like a nightmare that turns into a dream that one cannot fathom because we don't know what the creator has in store, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so with that being said, well, it looks like thank you, real Joe Ham. Joe Ham says prayers up to you and your family,
Thank
and
you.
and you know I just wanted to leave this with you because I feel that the calling, even though we have this idea, right, of what our hearts desire,
Mm-hmm.
the calling is much greater. The
Mm-hmm.
mission is much greater.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just getting chills because
Mm-hmm.
I just like God is so mm, he's just so miraculous.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's truly a blessing to be called his own. You know, I'm just blessed. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Somebody asked me today, was I happy, or I forgot the word, when I came home, was I happy to be home from jail? But my word has always been grateful. I am grateful,
Mhm.
for it all, the good. I take it all, the good and the bad. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm obviously built for it, obviously built for it because I'm here, you know what I mean? So, and he's allowed me to have these experiences, and hey, I'll gladly go through, you know, just to get to the other side, like just to see his glory in my life, in my family's life, in the other people's lives. Like, I'll gladly go through. I definitely, I will gladly, and I'm going through, you know what I mean? And I just thank everybody who has um, said kind words, kind thoughts toward me, sent their money to me, you know what I mean, and blessed me while I'm in this situation, you know what I mean. Like, it has, it is tremendous. It's a tremendous gratefulness to everybody who has extended any type of listening ear, even all of you who are online tonight listening to this story. Thank you for taking the time to even hear the story, because I think it just, I think it needed legs. It just, it needed to be out there so that people can know that, these things, these kind of things are happening to people. You know, I, you know, I don't. It's a lot I could say, and then at the same time, it's like, what can you say? you know.
What would you say tonight, though? Any wisdom for just what your journey? Any wisdom to the viewers out here?
Um. Yeah, wisdom. I would say deception is the word that you're going to have to look out for the rest of your life from this day forward. Really, it's been our entire lives, because that was the one thing that Christ told us: be not deceived. And I think that we have overlooked that word. And, it's just, we overlook a lot of things. But I think that if everybody, the takeaway tonight is to be not deceived. And because the world is going to get to the place where that word deception, it's already there. We're already here, but it's going to get worse. And it's not to scare anybody or anything, but it's an alert. You know what I mean? Live your life. Have a relationship, a real relationship with God, because that's what it's about. And that's just talking to him and knowing him through his word. I know a lot of people have different things that they believe in, but for me, it's the God of the Bible, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the God that I serve, and the standard that I try to live my life by. So I would say get to know the true creator of you, and just know that you are a created being, and God has written a story about your life. There's a book about your life, and just ask God to allow you to live out every word that he has written about you. Because we have our own ideas of what we think we want and need or whatever, but God knows best because he's the Father and he created you. So ask him to allow you to live what he has written for you.
Wow, that's very powerful. Thank you so much. And how can folks support you? I know I put here on the ticker line money sign FreeTika CashApp. Is there any other way people can support you?
That's my Cash App, Zelle. I have a phone number that, I don't know. I would guess it's a phone number. I don't I don't know how to do that. I don't know if I just say my phone number on here. But you can Zelle me at 323-945-0508. And those are really the only ways that I have. I think I had a Give, Send, Go account, but I haven't really used it or promoted it. My business partner started that for me. I think maybe one person donated there, and I think the money is just still sitting there. I used to have a GoFundMe, but we kind of used all that money for the bail, part of the bill.
Okay.
So, and I think that account is already closed, but but I have the Zelle and the Cash App right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, ma'am, I truly appreciate your time, and my prayers go out to you again and your family.
Absolutely.
And how was your experience, by the way, with Endino 360 tonight?
Oh, beautiful. I mean, I've had a great time here. I'm so glad that you invited me on your show to allow your listeners and viewers to hear my story. I'm just very appreciative and grateful for everybody being here and taking time to listen.
Well, thank you so much, ma'am. And I truly appreciate you and your time. And I'll definitely be in touch with you, and I'll send you the information that we
Awesome.
talked
Thank you.
about tonight. And please, let's continue to support the Unity for Social Justice. Let's free Master Prentice Banks, Jay Burton, and all our brothers and sisters that are in need of our support. This has been a broadcast of Showing Love Full Circle between Miss Shantika Lynch and Annette at NNO 360. Until then, please stay safe and God bless. Make sure you please support Miss Shantika at money sign FreeTika CashApp. Thank you so much, ma'am. God bless
Awesome.
you.
Thank
Much
you.
love.
And thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye. And don't forget to tap in and watch the new film documentary. It's really a movement called Put the Guns Down, A World Epidemic, produced by Ice-T and directed by Harry C. Carney Sr., director of the film documentary Put the Guns Down, a world epidemic.
So we're definitely looking for backers to be able to invest into this film. We're looking for executive producer, associate producers, on-set experience as well. That's also a reward that you're able to get. So if you invest into Next Lifetime, you will be, featured on the end credits. Of course, the higher the tiers, the more involved you will be, the more signing as far as like poster signage that you get from the cast and crew. And yeah, man, this is just the process of building something very special. This is the beginning, especially if you're watching this and the movie's already out. You already did your research on Next Lifetime. You just watched it. Like, I got to see more. This all started as a dream before you watched it in theaters. And just always believe in yourself, right? Just believe. Have the audacity to start. Don't filter yourself no matter what it is.
What's up, babe?
What are you doing?
I'm training your mom.
So how can schools, right, communities and organizations become proactive, not reactive when it comes to like violence prevention?
I think they should allow platforms like us into their facility. Somebody that can bring that different dynamic, because if like technically that's where the misbehaved children first go. That's the school. Right. So that's one of the places that they have to be at first. And a lot of these schools, like, come on, you got 23, you got 30 students in a class. You know what I mean? How can that one teacher provide that one-on-one that a lot of these students need? We teach them financial literacy starting at 8 years old.
That's great.
Get that real word on their own.
Yeah.
They already know what to do. They already, they know credit, business credit, how to structure their brand, And even with a lot of these like these entertainers, these young entertainers that's under their parents, it's a lot of the parents that can receive some of this valuable information.
People will tell you all kinds of stuff because they're not doing it.
Right, exactly.
And not only that, we need more people to do it, so that way we can come together as a community, because we need these leaders. We need people to be out here and shepherding our youth, right? The babies that need our help and attention, because they don't have any guidance here, but we need the leaders to give the guidance.
Yeah.
And you being one of them. So I applaud you for that.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and I took the initiative to reach out to people. And the Lord, he has his way of finding the like-minded people and aligning me up with them. So, I got sponsors by nonprofits like Philly Woods 7. Shout out to Sean Frog Banks.
What would real gun violence prevention look like if it was centered healing, as which we were talking about, not just policing?
So when you focus on healing, and not, because that's, we were talking about it earlier, that's a system disruptor. It's focused on, it's funny, everything that's wrong with it, you see it now. It's focused on policing. What people get tired of being afraid. They rise up. Everything in history has taught us that. That's why my mentality is not how it make me feel. There's statistics and numbers for all of this stuff. So show me how it works. Show me how policing has dramatically not only decreased gun violence, but maintained that decreased stance wherever you're talking about it was decreased at. You don't get both of them. You get one of the two. Yeah.
So why do you think we still treat emotional intelligence like a luxury in schools, and what's the cost of ignoring it?
The stuff that we see happening in the schools, that's it's funny having this conversation with professionals because I worked in that environment, right? I understand the politics of it, and I think a lot of times when people talk about their frustrations with school districts and what's happening in the educational realm or what's happening with youth, they miss that part. Your educators, the people that's in those spheres, are limited in what they do and what they can do. So being an individual who understands that, but now kind of operates in a rogue capacity, I get to kind of call that for what it is. And that's the problem. As long as you treat it like emotions don't matter, You'll experience relationships, conversations, and opportunities, everything. Like find something to be grateful about. It'll help you with your anxiety. It'll help you with your anger, your depression, jealousy, anything. You have so much in your life to be grateful about. Do your best to find it. Get a sheet of paper every day. Write down 10 things you're grateful for. The way the wind was blowing. It don't got to be super deep. The way the wind was blowing. You're grateful that your family caught. See? Look at that. See? That's what I'm saying. That's an orange on a vine, Alicia. That's an orange on a vine. See that? See that right there? Look at that. Be bold. See that? Get that orange and put it on the vine, guys. You take that orange and you put it. Don't you listen to the Alicia's.
Check. My draft class ain't got shit to do with my skill set. Baseline corner, mid-range assassin, I'm still with. Box in the corner, please ain't even worth my brim sweat.